50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Our so-called leaders prostituted us to the West, destroyed our culture, our economies, our honor.
U.S. Marines stationed on high alert were given the order to invade the small
Nikolai! Foreman set! The crew is already nearing!
Just as they lay waste to our country, we shall lay waste to theirs.
You think this will stop the bloodshed?
Вы все равно скоро сдохнете.
Call of Duty 4 was released on November 5, 2007 on the then new 7th generation of consoles, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, as well as PC. It was also the first Call of Duty title to break away from the World War II era as denoted by the subtitle Modern Warfare. Developed by the team at Infinity Ward, this fourth entry into the FPS series is what many fans would come to call as the start of the Golden Age, with innovations both big and small such as the iconic Create a Class system, which let players tailor their own loadout to their specific playstyle with a selection of guns, perks, and grenades, an XP-based leveling system for players to feel a sense of progression and eventually prestige, and legendary characters like Captain Price. But this isn't 2007 anymore. Does this game still hold up in 2026? Or are some things better left in the past? Before taking a look at why Call of Duty 4 is so fondly remembered, we need to look at the state of the FPS genre before it released. From the 90s to the mid-2000s, World War II was everywhere. Wolfenstein, Battlefield 1942, Red Orchestra, Brothers in Arms, Day of Defeat Source, and of course, Call of Duty. In retrospect, the future of this franchise could have been uncertain if COD4 was both a critical as well as a financial success.
Good news first, the world's in great shape. We've got a civil war in Russia, government loyalists against ultranationalist rebels, and 15,000 nukes at stake.
Just another day at the office.
Khaled al-Assad, currently the second most powerful man in the Middle East. Now word on the street is he's got the minerals to be top dog down there. Intel's keeping an eye on him.
And the bad news?
We've got a new guy joining us today, fresh out of selection. His name's Soap.
The player steps into the shoes of John McTavish at a military base in Creedon Hill, England. Soap, as he is referred to, is instructed in the basics of using firearms, which serves as the diegetic tutorial for the player. After completing his training, the instructor, Gaz, sends you off to meet Captain Price.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass selection?
After that cheeky remark, Price instructs Soap to run a simulation of the cargo ship he was selected to be a part of. After passing the test, Price orders everyone to be ready for deployment. After dropping onto the cargo ship in the Bering Strait, Price leads his squad into the interiors to recover a suspected nuclear device. Unable to retrieve the warhead on account of hostile forces, Soap grabs the manifest as the crew begins to retreat.
Bravo 6, come in. Bravo 6, what's your status?
The ship begins to sink as the squad makes their way to the escape helicopter.
Jump for it!
Gotcha! We're all aboard! Go!
Roger that, we're out of here. Faceplate, this is Big Bird. Package secured, returning to base. Out.
Narrowly escaping certain death, they fly off as the ship sinks into the ocean. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, President Yasser al-Fulani is captured by ultranationalists and driven through the city. After being dragged out of the car and tied up, the leader of the ultranationalists, Khaled al-Assad, is handed a Desert Eagle and executes him on live TV. After the execution occurs, the SAS learned that their informant for the cargo ship mission, Nikolai, was captured and soon to be executed by the ultranationalists. Price, Gaz, and Soap meet with Sergeant Kamarov and mount a rescue mission. After saving Nikolai from being executed in a house at the end of the village, they extract. Meanwhile, in retaliation for the coup and execution of Al-Fulani, the US launched a full-scale invasion to capture Al-Assad. Led by Lieutenant Vasquez, the player is in control of Sergeant Paul Jackson, and after raiding a TV broadcast station, they find out that Al-Assad was not there, and it was in fact a pre-recorded message.
Yeah, score 1 for military intelligence.
Vasquez's squad then fights their way through the enemy lines to defend an M1A2 Abrams tank, callsign Warpig. After dispatching the enemy tanks on the highway overpass, the squad reaches Warpig and defends against the enemy counterattack. Jackson then destroys the nearby anti-aircraft gun and calls in air support to finish off the remaining opposing force. Back with Price's squad, their helicopter gets shot down by an anti-aircraft missile launcher. Price, Gaz, Nikolai, and Soap survive and sneak their way through enemy forces, using a stinger found on site to shoot down an enemy chopper. With the assistance of an AC-130, the crew safely extracts. After fixing up Warpig, Lieutenant Vasquez and his squad push into enemy territory and eliminate enemy resistance gathered in the nearby buildings. After Warpig deals with an enemy tank, Vasquez and Jackson hop into a chopper to deal with Al-Assad once and for all. Providing fire support from above with a mounted grenade launcher while attacking Al-Assad's capital city, Jackson dismounts to relieve a team being pinned down by enemy gunfire. Soon after getting back in the mounted gun, Marine forces are ordered to pull out due to the threat of a nuclear bomb. A Cobra pilot gets shot down and Vasquez's squad mounts a rescue attempt. Stepping back into the helicopter with the injured pilot, they pull away before...
Everyone hang on! NBC-1 nuclear, Bravo, NB062634, Charlie, 90-degree grid, hotel, surface, Juliet, 90 seconds.
Within a radius of 7.4 miles, epicenter located at NB05860. Personnel within primary zone are ordered to commence immediate evacuation. Contamination sensors are being established at this time and will be fully operational within 2 hours. Personnel are advised to prepare IM Personnel with highly elevated levels are advised to seek medical attention at the first available opportunity.
After the nuke detonates, Nikolai informs Captain Price that Al-Assad might be hiding in a safe house in Azerbaijan in a small village. Supported by Russian loyalists, they eventually find Al-Assad and question who supplied him with the nuke, until his phone rings.
Sir, it's his cell phone. Who was that, sir?
Zakayev. Imran Zakayev.
15 years ago, Price, a lieutenant under the command of Captain Macmillan, was authorized by the British government to assassinate Zakhaev in Chernobyl. Using ghillie suits and suppressed weaponry, they sneaked their way to the target position to await his next dealing.
Look at this place. 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
After waiting 3 days at the top of a hotel, Price and Macmillan shoot Zakhaev, but their cover is immediately blown as a helicopter returns fire, which Price promptly destroys.
Get out of that helicopter, it'll buy us some time.
With ultra-nationalist forces hot on their tail, the two rappel down the building and make their way to the exfil site. Along the way, another helicopter spots them and is promptly dealt with. The crashed chopper debris injures Captain Macmillan as Price must carry him to the exfil point. Once arriving at the Ferris wheel, they hold out until the exfil helo arrives and escape. Back in the present, the squad prepares to repel a counterattack by ultra-nationalist forces as they retreat up the hill. Using anti-personnel explosives and a crashed helicopter turret, as well as javelin missiles, Soap destroys 4 tanks. Despite this, the evacuation chopper deems the area too hot as they tell the squad to make it to the bottom of the hill for exfil.
Oh, he's got to be taking a piss! We've just busted our asses to get to this LZ, and now they want us to go all the way back down!
Making their way down the hill for extraction, Griggs and the Marines lay down covering fire as they all extract. With Al-Assad out of the picture and no leads on Zakhaev's location, Price suggests going after his son, Victor. The SAS and USMC begin a joint operation alongside the assistance of Russian loyalist forces. The plan? To capture Victor at an enemy checkpoint while disguised. Before they can, Victor runs into the tower where Soap and Griggs were stationed before running off into the nearby town as the two give chase. After cornering Victor at the top of a building, Price orders Soap to disarm him, but he ends up blowing his brains out.
Shit, kid's got some issues.
Base play, this is Bravo 6. Zakhaev's son's dead. We're coming home.
Oh, bloody hell. His son was our only lead, sir.
Forget it. I know the man. He won't let this go unanswered. Let's go.
In response to this, Imran Zakhaev delivers an ultimatum. US and British forces pull their troops out or receive nuclear punishment. Soap, Price, and Gaz land and attempt to rescue Griggs, who triggered his emergency transponder. Tracking him to a small village and freeing him, the team makes their way to an electric tower and knock it over with C4, giving a second team time to infiltrate the facility. Fighting their way through hostile forces, they meet up with the American sniper team as 2 nuclear missiles are launched at the United States. The team arrive at the launch facility but are forced to push through many enemy forces and 3 infantry fighting vehicles. Once the battle is over, they cut the vents to the lower part of the facility. Once out of the vents, the team fights their way to the control room.
We're taking control of base security. What's your status? Over.
Guys, we're in position. Open the outer door to launch control.
Roger, we're on it. Stand by. Almost there. Got it. Door's coming online now.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Guys, can't you make it open faster?
Negative, sir. You can try pulling it if it makes you feel better.
Cheeky bastard.
Soap uploads the abort codes and disarms the missiles as they prepare to make their daring escape. Fighting tooth and nail to escape from enemy forces, they speed along, being chased by trucks and eventually a hind. They reach a bridge as the hind fires and destroys it, pinning the team down. Soap then briefly loses consciousness before... While Zakhaev is distracted, Price slides Soap his M1911 as he delivers the killing blow. Soon after, Kamarov and the Loyalists arrive to medevac the survivors. Their fate unknown. The campaign is very by the numbers for modern standards. You have your good guys, you have your bad guys. The stakes are high, and you have your set pieces. The difference of mission pacing is very apparent between the SAS and USMC, which I think helps distinguish the two sides in the beginning acts. The SAS missions being on the more subtle side, while the US missions are more in your face. Although in my eyes the story itself is very emblematic of the time I released it. That doesn't make it dated by any means. I still love the feeling of infiltrating the cargo ship on the Bering Strait in Crew Expendable, going full oorah in Charlie Don't Surf, and sneaking past enemy patrols in All Gillied Up. The soundtrack is also a big factor. From the moment you boot up the game to the finale, you are accompanied by such wonderful sounding pieces. Take a listen. One minor nitpick I do have is that in certain situations you have to wait for certain actions to progress the mission, but it doesn't happen too much for it to be an annoyance. Overall, it holds up well and deserves to be fondly remembered, but that's not the only reason people look fondly upon this game. Call of Duty 4 was revolutionary for the series not just in its setting, but also its multiplayer. Instead of having preset classes with weapons, Infinity Ward decided to give players the ability to fine-tune their own loadouts, thus giving birth to what we now call Create a Class. You're given a choice between assault rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, light machine guns, and sniper rifle primaries with optional attachments, a fallback secondary handgun, frag grenade, and selectable non-lethal grenades, and 3 perks. This feature would become the standard for the series and expanded upon in future entries. Another innovation was the invention of killstreak call-ins. If you earn a 3 streak without dying, you earn a UAV, which sweeps the minimap with enemy players' locations. 5 kills in a row gives an airstrike on a precise location the player calls it upon, and the almighty attack helicopter at 7 to sweep the map and gun down exposed enemies. The last big innovation was XP-based progression system, which gave players a sense of climbing the ranks and unlocking more of the game's arsenals and toys before reaching max level, and for those who wish to take it a step further, they could enter Prestige mode, going back to level 1 and earning a unique looking emblem beside their player level. Nowadays, while the Create a Class system in this game is admittingly very limited, I still enjoy crafting loadouts to tailor to a specific playstyle. Want to stay off the radar and become a silent assassin? Equip an SMG with a suppressor, the UAV jammer perk, and dead silence. Want to dominate mid-range? Equip the M16A4 with the stopping power perk. Want to eat bullets for breakfast? Equip an LMG and the Juggernaut perk, and watch your enemies fall. My personal favorite weapons are the HK G3 and G36C, HK MP5, Benelli M4 Super 90, and Scoped M14. There's so many combinations at your fingertips, all depending on your preference. The killstreak call-ins are also very fun, although with only 3 available and unable to earn more without intentionally resetting the streak by dying, there's not much reason to keep the streak going past 7 besides bragging rights. The XP-based progression system, while simple on paper, also just feels good. I think we can all agree that seeing number go up makes us feel like we're working towards an end goal, but if you don't care for prestiging, your road ends at level 55, which still takes a while to get to. Of course we have to speak about the maps. While some people may like certain maps over others, one of the most iconic maps in multiplayer FPS history originates from COD4. Shipment, a joke map made by the developers in homage to a custom Counter-Strike source map, is, dare I say, as iconic as Dust 2 from Counter-Strike. My personal favorites are Vacant, Strike, Downpour, Chinatown, District, and Backlot. That's not to say there isn't glaring issues with this game's multiplayer, because there is. Some perks are more desirable than others, and one perk in particular is, quite frankly, useless. Unless the entire enemy team is using microphones to communicate, why would you ever run eavesdrop? On the flip side, some perks are just outright annoying when combined together. The combination of Frag x 3, Sonic Boom, and Martyrdom perks alone would make the Demoman from Team Fortress 2 blush with how much destruction they cause. But there's an even worse culprit. Something so foul, so rotten, so rage-inducing, it would take years for it to finally be removed. And that perk is... ugh. Last Stand. Why did Infinity Ward thought there should be a perk whose sole purpose is to annoy the person who wins the gunfight by forcing them to waste extra time finishing off their target, which gives their teammate time to shoot you while distracted. This perk's sole purpose is to be a middle finger and nothing else. I hate it! Ahem. In 2016, Activision released Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and bundled it with a remastered version of Call of Duty 4, keeping everything about the campaign and multiplayer intact. That is, until the update that added supply drops. Suddenly, new guns that were never part of the original game, some of which were obscenely broken and messed with the balance of the vanilla weapons, made their way into the game. While there exist multiplayer clients to play Modern Warfare Remastered's multiplayer with access to all the weapons, it is still worth bringing up as a criticism. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is by no means perfect, but in spite of the nearly 20 years since it originally released, it is still very much worth your time if you haven't played it already or are just sick of the state of the modern FPS landscape. A fun campaign filled with cinematic, heart-pounding moments and a multiplayer that is still actively supported thanks to third-party server hosters means this game will live on until the end of time. If you haven't already, pick it up for a reasonable price, and you won't be disappointed. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. It's my first attempt at a review style format and I'd love to do more of these kinds of videos on other games. If you enjoyed, please leave a like as it helps out tremendously, and consider subscribing if you want to see more. Until next time.